So what's the bottom line on installation? You have to place a boatload of trust in your installer that they're competent, honest, and professional. According to the Security Industry Association, up to 50% of false alarms are caused by bad installation, bad programming, and improper use of sensors. And if they're a subcontractor, remember, that means they're not an employee of the company you got the system from. You checked out the company, but what about the subcontractor? Are they properly licensed? Are they adequately insured? If something goes wrong here, you may not be able to go after the company you got the system from. You might have to go after their subcontractor. Again, what do some of their contracts say? Quoting from the latest copies I have, quote, ADT shall have the right to subcontract any installation. If the equipment is installed by a third party, the relationship between ADT and the third party is that of principal and independent contractor and not of an employer and employee. Guardian's contract says, the company can subcontract its obligations without the customer's consent. The company is not responsible for any work which is done negligently by any third party. Sloman's says, in the event buyer requires alteration, installation, modification, connection, or other effort by Sloman's in order to facilitate the installation, Sloman's is specifically authorized to perform such acts or to have another perform them at buyer's sole expense. Knowing what I do, I would never get a security system from a company that uses a subcontractor to install it. And if you really want to be sure that installer is going to give your installation proper attention, I would also ask if that installer will have any other installations or service work assigned on the day of your installation. Your installation should be the only thing on their schedule for that day. One other thing to think about. Let's say your system was installed 2 weeks ago and you're having a problem. Who's the person you really want to talk to? Eddie, right? Eddie's the one who knows your system and the way it's installed. But remember, Eddie's a subcontractor. He might be working for another company now. And don't forget, Eddie already got his $75 for installing your system. How anxious do you think he's going to be to drive back out to your place for free? If your installer is a company employee, it's far more likely they'll feel a responsibility to help you out. Question number 11. Does your company use subcontractors to install your systems? Question number 12. Will your installer have any other work scheduled on the day of my installation?